Are you tired of the overwhelming content creation hamster wheel? I get it. I understand how it feels. But you're in luck, because today, this episode is how you can create one piece of content and use it a gazillion different ways and get off the content creation hamster wheel once and for all. Today, I'm going to share my secrets on how to turn your podcast into a content creation machine. Hi, I'm Olivia. I help entrepreneurs with big dreams to create podcasts that attract their dream clients, feeds their social media, and helps them create the business and the life that they want, all while feeling confident and supported.
Welcome to Magnetic Pod. If you are looking to attract your soul clients while doing the work you love, this show is for you. Hi, I'm Olivia D'Souza. I'm a podcast manager and content repurposing specialist. The Magnetic Pod Show is about attracting your soul pod of clients through podcasting. It will also include things that can be applied to other areas of your marketing strategy too. Hit subscribe to join me in calling in the people we are here to help. Let's make a massive impact.
I am here and I'm ready to be brave. Cannot miss me, I'll stand on every stage. I'm available for my destiny to reach my people.
Before I get into it, remember to hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss any of the tips and content that will help support you in your life and in business. Okay, let's get into it. Ideally, I do recommend recording your podcast as a video if you can. So anything that I suggest, I always do recommend that you put through your filter of what works for you, because I don't believe that it's a one-size-fits-all situation. But ideally, if you do record it as a video, it just gives you so many more options. So if you are happy to speak to camera and do that little bit more effort of presenting yourself for the camera, then you can do so much more with your podcast. So let's get into it. So how it started for me is that it would be these videos that I would do for people where I interview them and get the best out of them, or they might have a video where they had something that they wanted to use and repurpose. But the most popular one was where I interviewed them, because often it would be attracting people who would find it hard to sell themselves, who had something important to say, who wanted to serve the world, who wanted to make a difference, who had an important message, but were also camera shy, showing up on social media, on a Facebook Live or on a TikTok or a Reel. They just found it hard, but with a little nudge, you could interview them and bring out the gold. And I tend to draw people into my life who are entrepreneurs, but they're doing it out of passion and they're doing something that matters to them and they genuinely want to help people. By interviewing somebody, you get them to open up and relax and just talk about what they care about. It started with that, but I also found myself helping people with podcasting. And so it was just a no-brainer to put the two services together. Now I help people with content marketing and with podcasting and social media management and all of it. And it all just flows together so well, so that all that somebody has to do is just the podcast and then leave the rest to me. Even though the Shine Online package was really valuable, it still is, and really helps people, you know, it eventually you've used it all. But if you have a podcast, then you've got that constant updated content that you can just milk so many different ways. And the thing is, if you do a podcast, the advantage is what you call a cornerstone piece of content. It's recommended that, so the cornerstone content is evergreen. There are different kind of cornerstone content. You could do a blog, you could do a YouTube channel, and you could do a podcast. To me, obviously, I love podcasts and I love YouTube. You can combine them. If you are going to do a podcast for YouTube, just briefly, you can do YouTube as a SEO type situation where you just simply put a podcast out there, just basically an audiogram, and it's just so people can find you. But you can also do YouTube as an actual YouTube strategy where you try to hack the algorithm and have the algorithm show you to lots of people. So if you go down that route, then you know you have to make it visually of a certain standard and edited and all of those things. But whether you do YouTube or podcasting, you can milk that for so many different ways. Now, personally, I think podcasting is easier because it's a cheaper thing to do. You don't have to have that bar of highly edited perfectly lit, color graded with motion graphics and B-roll and all of those things. So podcasting is simpler to do. Also, if you're just doing shorts and reels and TikToks out of them, it's not the same level of high intensity requirements for that kind of video content as opposed to a long form. In general, depending on your niche, long form video content on YouTube, the bar is quite high as far as what does well on the platform. So for most people, just getting a podcast is going to be the easier option. You can start with that and then add YouTube later if you want to, is one way of going about it. So the amazing thing about podcasting is that you get to go deeper than with any other platform, and it is the one platform where it's the most intimate relationship you create with one listener at a time. So what you end up with is an in-depth goldmine of content. Once you've recorded your podcast, it's time to edit it, cut out any unnecessary pauses, mistakes, and anything that doesn't add value. Once you've done that, you can publish it and you can get a transcript. Now, there are plenty of places where you can go to get a low-cost AI transcript these days, just like Otter, for example, and you can get your transcript and use that to have everything written in front of you about what you said. From there, you can see quotes that you can pull out of there of things that you said that you can turn into quote cards. You can have the words in front of you to see the points that you made that you know that you can turn into social media captions. You could turn it into a blog post that will sit on your website and attract people to your website through SEO. And you can take the video and you can cut it up into lots of pieces, depending how long your podcast is. It's how many pieces you might get out of it. So you can attract people to your podcast or just simply share your message in those different ways. And that can go on TikTok, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, all the places. Another thing you could do with it is you could put it on YouTube Shorts. You can record your podcast to go on YouTube. YouTube is a whole other beast. So you could either do the simple method of just putting it over there so that you're published and that you get the SEO benefits, or you can go for trying to hack the algorithm of YouTube, in which case that's a whole other higher bar. But if you just wanted to put it over there to have it in another place and have the SEO benefits of YouTube attracting people and helping people find you and the things that you talk about, then you can totally do that. You could do it the easy way and just set up something like repurpose.io, that an automated system that just puts it over there for you every time you publish a new podcast. So you could do that all yourself. You can set aside, I generally try to plan 1 week where I am focusing on my own content and try to get at least 4 podcasts in the can so that I can have a month's worth done at a time. So it's up to you whether you either spend time or money. Ideally, as an entrepreneur, I think we should work towards not doing everything ourselves. I do offer that as a service. If you need that, reach out to me, because there's so many courses and so many coaches, but sometimes I think people just need help getting the things done so you can get your time back. I do help with that as far as being your secret weapon. There are clients I have that I might say that they are my client, but I don't necessarily go into depth about what I do for them, because I want people to think that the written posts and everything are done by them when it's really done by me. So if you need help in that area with copywriting and showing up online in your voice, but not having to write all the posts yourself, reach out. If you want to learn more about turning your podcast into a content marketing machine, send me any questions you have on Instagram again at Olivia Music Media, and let me know if you've got any questions or anything else you want me to cover in future episodes. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, and if you're going to do a podcast and you're not sure how to get started, remember you can go to the freebies page on my website, oliviamusicmedia.com, and download the must-have tech list. I will see you in the next episode. Bye.
So, what were your key takeaways from today? Did it raise any questions? What would you like to know more about? Let me know. You can contact me via social media or email. I don't care which way you use, just reach out to me. I'd love to chat with you. And remember, you can get access to lots of free podcast resources that will help you get started or help you improve your podcast at oliviamusicmedia.com/freebies. Hit subscribe because I want to see you again. But for now, go forth, be the awesome person you are, live the life you want to live, and have fun. You've got this. See you next time.
Show them who I be, unavoidable everywhere you see me. Reach my people, claim my power. There's no hierarchy. It is me and
Hello, it's Livy here. Have you ever wondered about what the key elements are that make a podcast truly stand out? Or maybe you're thinking about starting your own special podcast and feel a bit overwhelmed and don't know where to start. Well, I have something for you. Introducing the ultimate podcast checklist. Da, 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 da. It's a step-by-step guide that covers everything from the initial brainstorming to advanced growth strategies. It's the perfect companion for both new and seasoned podcasters. And the best part, it's absolutely free. Da, 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 da. To grab your copy, simply head to the show notes of this episode and you will find a direct link there, and then away you go. Remember, every podcast started with that initial spark and the right resource, so let the ultimate podcasting checklist be yours.